It's been 3 bullish weeks, and it looks like we're gonna be taking out buy side. So we've got buy side located at 106,519. And before we get into the possibilities of buy side being taken, or at least being poached, right? We need to study the decline going into the weekly order block that has been outlined for several weeks now. This is the last down close candle before we saw buy side taken out, and a candle body close. Sorry, candle body closure, not only above intermediate highs, not only above daily highs, but weekly highs also. So we closed above. So we've got our order block there. This candle right there failed to make it down to this area there. The week after, it was a inside week where we spiked into the consequent encroachment of this bearish engulfing candle. We failed. We closed maybe 80% into the candle, 20% should I say, into the candle. And the prior week after that, we sold off, taking the prior week's low out. Manipulation wasn't that great, should I say, in a sense where I never really traded up to the consequent encroachment of the wick of the prior week. When we sold off, we did get the projection as intended, which is the bullish order block. We closed at 104,497. The order block is 104,487. The wick obviously caused damage there. The prior lows to that has been respected. Not only has it been respected, just make a few alterations there. The order block, which is the last down close candles, which is the 3 bearish candles that targeted the prior order block before that. But you not notice, guys, there's a lot of order blocks that price action has been respecting, and this is DXY. We're not looking at the stock index markets, because once you got that, we respected that area the week after that. Inside week, we failed to trade to the open of the prior week. Week after that, ran on buy stops, took sell stops out, but we also respected the order block. Week after that, ran on the sell side, 1, 2, and we closed at the consequent encroachment of the prior week's candle. That would be confirmation number 1. Number 2 would be a run on buy stops and a target of this area here, right, which would be the last up close candle before order block was targeted. And we got that right there with this Monday's weekly candle. Before we got that, we spiked and confirmed orders at the bullish order block level one more time. We also respected the consequent encroachment of the prior week's open and low, and we closed above not only one, I wouldn't say two, but we closed above one area of liquidity pool, which is buy side. Prior week, which is this week, we had a manipulation run to the downside. Maybe I'd say even 75 to 80% of the prior week. Came back up, and then we targeted the prior week's high, which we closed above, and we managed to get a small retracement at the end of the week. Going into the future now, it's looking very prone for this area up at 106,519 to be attacked. Now, if we were to gather more liquidity, where would we be able to get that from? Now, we do have a fair value gap right there, which is an opening gap, which we could spike one more time, taking out the lows, trading into this area here, or we can create an institutional order flow entry drill where we spike into the displacement lows, before taking off and running into 106.519. So going into the future, I'm more confident that DXY is looking to run and take buy stops, but I will be expecting a manipulative sell-off, a manipulated short target shorts in which this fair value gap right there will be attacked before using that as liquidity to take us up into that area there. If you just go to the daily time frame, this is this week's trading. Friday's high, which is an area of interest for this week, which was an area of interest for this week because Monday was a inside week. Not only was price action firmly inside of the prior week, the wicks never got to trade above the prior highs and lows. Tuesday took sell side out. For starters, we gapped lower. Right, we gapped lower closer to the order block, the daily order block. We closed just below the order block, targeted the liquidity void right there. Right, and we've got relative equal highs. It's looking to be poached, which got poached on Friday. The Wednesday, spinning doji, targeted the liquidity void one more time. We failed to close above the lows, which will give me more of a spidey sense that all of these highs right there is looking to be run on. All of these highs right there. Thursday, no manipulation to the downside. Well, I'd ideally like to see those a run below sell side before we take 1 and 2 highs out, and then obviously the day after on the Friday we'll be looking to take out the 105.744 highs. Now the reason why all of this happened, right, was because once we traded back into this daily order block, right, traded below the lows off last week Friday's low. We didn't close, which is more for bullish confirmation that there is room for a continuation in price action. Not only that, the liquidity void was respected before we saw the delivery to the upside. So going forward, I'd like to see 106.519, but at the same time, $105.744, I'd like to see candle bodies holding this area here. We do have an updated region there. So what I could do right now is something like that. So when you go into the hourly time frame, we know what we're working with. Hourly time frame ran into the daily highs, rejected, came back, took out those highs right there. We continued to rally to the upside. So what we could expect, what I'm looking out for in the future is something like this, and then the lowest displacement in the week opening gap to be targeted going into the middle of next week. I'd see something like this pan out.